Today guys, I'll show you 3 different ways you can create locked doors in Fortnite. If these tutorials helped you out guys, consider supporting me in the Fortnite Item Shop by using code BluDrive. Alright, so the first locked door works like this in game. You have an object hidden in the world that you have to destroy in order to open the door. So when I destroy this object here, the door will open and I can walk right through. So to build a door like this, you're going to want to build 2 rooms. Place a normal door in the wall connecting the 2 rooms. We're going to start by building where we want our key that unlocks the door to be. Then build across to the tile directly behind the door. On the tile directly underneath the door, we're going to place a barrier block. We're going to want to change the visibility to black and the barrier height to 3. Make sure this chain of floors isn't connected to the ground. Next we're going to build a 1x1 room for the key to sit in. Make sure to put a window in the wall looking into the 1x1 so that the player can shoot into the room. Now we're ready to place our key. You can use any of the objective device gallery. I'm using the dirt bugger. Once you place the key, make sure to close the room off by placing a ceiling tile. For the settings, change the team to team 2, the explosion radius to a quarter tile, and hide health bar to never. Then copy and paste this objective to create a chain that connects to our floors. And you're done for the first locked door method. The second locked door is protected by a force field. If you walk into the force field, you'll be eliminated. To disable the force field, you'll need to find the switch to turn it off. When you push the button, the force field is disabled and you'll be able to walk straight through the door. So to start this, we're going to need a way to turn the force field on automatically at the start of the game. To do this, we're going to create a simple shopping cart sequencer system, place a cart facing down a ramp, and place a spike trap on the wall. When the game starts, the spike trap will activate and cause the cart to take damage and move off its spawner. Next, build up from the ground directly underneath the door. Place a sequencer directly underneath the door. We're going to change the length to normal. Next, go back to the shopping cart system and build 2 floors across like this. Then go to the door sequencer and place 2 floors like this. Place the first sequencer so that it's going towards the right as if you are facing the shopping cart system. Change the length to normal and the tempo to 180. For the second sequencer, turn 90 degrees so that the sequencer travels towards the door sequencer. Change the length to normal and the tempo to 180. For the third sequencer, place it as shown here, change the length to normal and the tempo to 180. For the force field sequencer, change the length to 2, the tempo to 90, and set the damage to elimination. Make sure to change the trigger type to an on-off switch. When the cart pushes this sequencer, it activates the force field sequencer, causing it to turn on. It also causes the third sequencer to activate, which then quickly turns the force field sequencer back to off, causing the sequencer to freeze and create an elimination force field. To make the force field move again and cause it to be deactivated, we're going to need to create another sequencer track which turns it off. To do this, we're going to need to place a button somewhere in the level, place a sequencer so that it goes outside the level, next build up from the ground and place a sequencer facing 90 degrees from the first sequencer. Change the second sequencer length to a half. Build down a level and place another sequencer. Then place a final sequencer level with and facing towards the force field sequencer. Change the final sequencer length to 3. As you can see, when the sequencer chain is activated, the force field moves and is disabled. Tidy up the sequencer chain by shortening the length of each of the sequencers so that they don't overlap the next sequencer. Next, we can speed up this sequencer track by changing the tempo of each of the sequencers to a tempo of 180. Now if we start the game, the shopping cart rolls over the sequencer, causing the force field to become active. If we run into the sequencer, we are eliminated. If we jump on the button to deactivate the force field will be turned off and we're free to walk through the door. For the final locked door, we can cause it to open by standing in a certain place. These bears are going to shoot the cannon to open the door which is locked. We have to retreat to a safe distance to make them fire the cannon and blast the door open. If we go onto the balcony and stand where the arrow is, it will cause the bears to fire the cannon and blast the door open. Once the explosions have finished, the door is open and we can walk straight through it. First, build up from the ground directly underneath the door. Then place a barrier block on top and set the visibility to black and the height to 3. Next, we're going to place an explosive barrel device directly behind the wall where we want the player to stand. Change the player damage to 0, structure damage to 0, and the explode on proximity to 2. Next, copy and paste this barrel underneath the map to the barrier device. On the last barrel, change the structure damage to 1000 and the blast radius to 1/2. Make sure to change the explode on proximity setting to off on all the barrels except the first one. You can also turn off the knockback setting. Once you've finished the system, you can decorate the scene to give it a bit more context and a storyline. After you have everything the way you want it, you're ready to playtest. You won't be able to walk through the door at the start because it's locked. To unlock the door, you need to walk to the spot you have set to be the safe zone. When you get to the safe zone, you trigger the exploding barrels chain and cause the barrier to break. Then you can walk through the door. And that's it guys, that was 3 different ways to create locked doors in Fortnite Creative. If you enjoyed today's video guys, make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.